And I am delighted to welcome Inna Solar and Kate Nicholson. If you are familiar with iSpring webinar series, then you definitely know our stars. I can't wait to connect with them. If you don't know what iSpring webinar series is about, though, subscribe to the newsletter. Don't miss the opportunity to get more useful content. And again, I'm sure my dear colleagues from the technical team will be able to support me by sending a link. But do not be too distracted, because here we also have a very interesting and a very useful session, and I suggest that we focus on it together. I'm happy to pass the mic over to the ladies, and I wonder if you ladies hear me well and everything's all right on your side.
Hi, Chris. Yeah, we can hear you well. Thanks for having us here. How are you doing today?
I'm very, very excited because we've already had our first session and 3 more to go, including yours. And I can't wait to see the results of the 2-day event. So, very excited. By the way, did you have a chance to hear the session by Marina or some other sessions from yesterday?
Yeah, sure. We had a chance. So, and I definitely agree with her that realistic stories will help in boosting learner engagement. So, yeah, thanks a lot for this lecture.
Sure. If you feel like you want to share some of your insights based on what you've heard, that would also be great. But if you feel like we should, spare time for the session, then kick at any point of time you're ready. Go ahead and feel free to start.
Yeah, sure. I think we are ready to get started. Okay. So, guys, are you looking for an interactive way to improve the professional communication skills of your employees? Just like any other skills, professional communication can be learned. And in e-learning, for this process, we use dialogue simulations. In iSpring Suite, our authoring tool, we have a feature called Talkmaster, and that allows you to do just that. So a dialogue simulation, also known as a role play, and it is an interactive exercise that replicates a real conversation between two people. For example, between an employee and a customer, or between two colleagues, let's say. And you can use these simulations to effectively train and assess the communication skills of your employees. And also, these dialogue simulations provide a risk-free environment in which your employees can practice their communicational skills until they're ready to speak in their real life situation on the job. This actually prevents any potential damage to clients' relations that an untrained employee might inflict if not given the proper training beforehand. So what we're doing today, we will present a workshop where you can build dialogue simulations with us. So I hope you're ready. But first things first, and we need to make sure that you all have iSpring Suite installed on your PC. So guys, if you have this tool installed, please type a plus sign in the chat so we can see how many of you are ready to start creating dialogue simulations with us. In case you haven't been able to install iSpring Suite yet, it's okay. We will have around 5 minutes before our session starts. And my colleague is sharing the link for the trial of iSpring Suite in our online chat so that you guys can download the trial directly from here and follow along. So also tech support will be available on our online chat. So please feel free to ask them any questions you might have during our discussion, okay? And while we are counting those plus signs from participants who are ready to start creating dialogue simulations with us, I'm just going to list off some common ways that dialogue simulations are used. So dialogue simulations help customer-facing folks to get used to interacting with clients more effectively. Does simulation make it easier for salesperson and customer care representatives? Of course it does. And it also gets new hires familiar with the responsibilities and expectation of tasks associated with their new roles. With dialog simulation, you can keep employees up to date on let's say, regulations such as fire safety or information security, for example. And companies may use it to improve patient care in the healthcare industry as well. And for students, dialog simulations help to grab their attention and motivate them to practice. So I think I've covered the most popular ways that dialog simulations are used for. And today, we are going to take an in-depth look at how to create a dialog simulation from scratch in just 30 minutes.
Great, and I'm very happy about that. We have about 20 pluses in the chat, and there is a growing number, so I'm sure in a matter of minutes we'll have more than that.
Cool, great, thank you. So, and by the end of the session, you will learn how to get started with iSpring Talkmaster, how to build a dialog simulation from scratch, the key features of iSpring Talkmaster as well. And guys, be attentive. As a side note, during this session, we will be sure to check out our text-to-speech feature with voices in 52 foreign languages. So this is my favorite part. And basically, this session will make you a black belt in creating engaging dialog simulations. So let's move on. Chris, doesn't it look like we've counted enough pluses and that the most of our participants are ready to get started?
Well, we definitely have many more participants just observing compared to the ones that have shared a plus in the chat. We have about 120 participants checking our streaming online at the moment. But considering the realities that somebody's driving, somebody's walking, somebody has dinner being prepared, I'm pretty sure that we have a good quorum with more than 25 pluses already in the chat. So I think we can get started, and anyone else who wishes to join us will be able to do that shortly.
Okay, cool. Sounds awesome. So at this point, I guess we can start. And now I'll turn the mic over to my colleague, Kate, so you can dive right in and start creating engaging dialog simulations. So Kate, please.
Thank you, Ina. Thank you so much. So let me share my screen first, just a second. Okay. So hello again, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm a technical support engineer at iSpring. And today we are going to talk about how to create a dialog simulation, an effective and realistic dialog simulation with iSpring Suite. But we not only cover the basic functionality of iSpring Talkmaster, we will also talk about less well-known features that will help you to make a dialog simulation more lifelike. So for today's session, I've prepared a dialog simulation that simulates the conversation with a client who's thinking about changing eating habits. So you can see it on my screen at the moment, and also my colleagues from tech support, they will send you a link so that you can just follow it and click through it on your end and see how it usually works. So let's begin. So in the first scene, we see a greeting scene with some instructions and description of the situation for the learner in order to immerse our clients in the actual story. This is an important part of any dialogue simulation because the user needs to understand the situation fully in order to make correct decisions when they are taking the dialogue simulation. And now let's hit start button here. And now we have the next scene here. And this is the first scene. The client introduces herself and talks about her problem. And we need to choose the right answer here. But let's try to select, for example, the second option, which is cool. I can't wait to get started. What do you usually eat for lunch? Okay, here we can see that we selected an appropriate answer because we rushed to ask direct questions right away, right? And we didn't talk about client's diet. So we have an option to go to the next scene, and now we will go to the previous scene again, and we have a chance to answer the question correctly. So let's select the first. Okay, on the next scene, we have just one reply, so let's click on it. Okay, and here we can see that our client is describing his lunch. Yes, and we here have 3 responses, like everything is great, or the description of the lunch, and also the third answer. This says we will need to completely change the diet. So let's try select the first answer. Wow, and here we can see that that was a huge mistake, and we selected the incorrect answer here. And we have an option to restart this dialogue simulation from the very beginning. Let's try to do this. So I will click through the scenes that we already seen, like, okay. And again, we are in the scene where we selected an incorrect answer. Now let's select the second answer to go to the final scene and pass this dialogue simulation. Okay, great. So we passed it. That's cool. So now we can start creating our dialogue simulation. But before we start, I also wanted to tell you, just a moment, I will open my presentation. Just a few seconds. So yes, before we get started, I wanted to talk about creating a dialog tree. Before creating any simulation in iSpring TalkMaster, we highly recommend that you build a dialog tree that will show different scenarios. This step will help you avoid having to redo parts of the simulation and will minimize the number of possible mistakes in the configuration. You can create a draft version of your dialog in any program. It can be a Word document, it can be a PowerPoint presentation. You can even use some specific drawing tools like Flowchart, or even you can write it down on a sheet of paper. And let's take a look at the dialog tree that we will do today. So yes, here it is. Here we can see several scenarios that the user can follow. So here is a longer path. If the user chooses an answer that was correct. A shorter, I'm sorry, that is the longer path. And the shorter path, this is a green path. And the next path is a dead end scene. That forces the user to replay the simulation if they make a serious mistake. So let's create this dialogue simulation. Okay. So now I need to go to iSpring Suite 10. So guys, now you need to go to your desktop and click on iSpring Suite 10 shortcut, and then you will have a pop-up window. Here you will need to select Simulations and click Create. To start creating a dialog, we need to click on New Scene in the top left corner. So I'll click on it, and I will have a pop-up window. Here is on the main toolbar, we can see the main tabs like content, images, properties. So let's take a closer look at these tabs. In the content tab, you can enter the character speech. It can be replies and also a message. By clicking on this gray area, you can add a character to the specific scene, and here you can change the character's emotions to make your dialogue more realistic. As for the bottom controls, you can preview the specific scene by clicking on the play icon. You can also make your scene a start scene by clicking on flag icon. And to delete this scene, you can click on this trash icon. Now let's go to the Images tab. Here you can set up a character and a background for your dialogue simulation. Basically, you are able to add characters and background images in 3 ways. First, let's click on character, for example. First, you can select them from the built-in library. If these characters don't fit your content perfectly, you can insert your own, and that will be the second way. So to insert your own character, you need to click on the top right corner on this icon. Then the third way is to add characters from the content library by clicking on Add from Content Library. Let's take a look at it. So the content library is included into iSpring Suite Max subscription. It has so many characters that you can use in your dialogue simulation. Let's quickly look through them. And since you are in a trial version, I think that you will have some locked characters, but some of them still will be unlocked, so you can try to use them in your dialogue simulation today. So I'll close it right now. Okay, and then if we go to backgrounds, we have the same here. We can use built-in backgrounds. We can add our own background by clicking on this icon in the top right corner. And also we can add background from the content library. Let's take a look at them. So here they are. Okay, I will close it. Now let's close it. And let's go to the third tab, which is Properties. Here you can change color of each scene as you prefer. Different colors will allow you to navigate among specific information blocks with our dialog tree. So great. Now we can return to the Images tab here and add a character to our dialog. So let's choose a character from built-in section. I think I will choose this one. And let's click close. Okay, cool. So now I think we are ready to set up a background of our scene. Let's click on the background and select background from the built-in section again. Let's choose something that reminds us a cafe. Here it is. Okay, and now we just close it and go back to the Content tab. Okay, great. So we almost created the first scene, and now under the Content tab, we need to copy and paste the text from our script. So here's my script that I've prepared. You received this script via email from nadia.spellman@ispring.com email. So if you take a look at it, you'll see that we have character speech, we have some messages with bubble icons, and responses with arrows. So I'll copy and paste this into appropriate fields when creating a new scene. And later, I also show you how you can export this script and why you need to do this. So let's go to our intro message here. And let's add our first text from our script, which is a description, in order to involve the learner in the story. To do this, I'll click on Add Message. Then again, I will open my script, copy the text, go back and paste it. That's it. Let's preview our scene. Okay, I'm happy with the way it looks, so we can go ahead and create a new scene. But before closing the preview window, let me quickly cover the main controls on the top bar. If you click where it says Edit Scene, you'll be redirected to the window with the Content Images and Properties tabs to continue editing the current scene. The Replay button allows you to play the scene from the very beginning. And you can return to the previous scene by clicking where it says Previous Scene. Okay, and one other important thing here I have to mention, you can preview this dialog's appearance on the desktop, tablet, like this, and also on smartphone, in both and on landscape and portrait modes. Okay, now let's close it. Let's close it and let's create the new scene. So I'll share one more interesting tip here with you to save a huge amount of time. There is no need to create a new scene here in the top left corner. To create a new scene, you can just simply select the response or a message and drag the link to create a new scene. Here it is. So let's do this together right now. Let's mouse over this link icon next to the response. So when we see drag to link, just click on it and drag a new scene wherever you want. Then release the mouse button to create the second scene, which will be linked to the previous scene automatically. So now I'm going to copy the text from our script to fill the character speech and responses boxes. So let me open again my script. Okay, here is the speech. Let's paste it here. Let's go back really quickly, select the needed response, insert it, then click on Add Reply again, go back, select, copy, and paste. Great, we did it. So next, you can see here that we have a character emotion. So we can select any emotion here for our character. According to our dialog tree, this route is the correct one. So we will make our client happy. Let's do that. Yeah, that's cool. Then we need to highlight this route so we can navigate easily through several scenes later on. To do this, I'll click Properties and select the green color for the current scene to highlight the first scenario. By the way, if you go to the Images tab, you'll notice that all these images remain unchanged. This is because an option called Same as Previous Scene was automatically applied to the next scenes in our dialog because we created it by using Drag to Link option. So now let's click on Close to save changes. And now we are ready to move on and create scene number 3. So to do that, in scene number 2, since we have 2 answers, let's start from the, I think, incorrect one. Now we are going to create a loop scene. So our users can go back one scene and choose the correct answer in case they made a mistake. So for this scene, we'll add a character speech and feedback message explaining why this answer is not appropriate for our situation in order to make it clear to the user. So let's drag the link from our second response, like that. And now I'll copy the text from the script again. Here it is. Let's paste it. Okay, great. And now, again, we need to add a message, a feedback message for our learners. And that's it. We created the next scene right now. And now I also want to change the emotion meter to puzzled, because that was an appropriate answer. Now I'll close this window and drag the link to the second scene again, so our users can go back and replay this scene. Also, if we go back to our third scene, we can go to properties and change the color so that we can define that this scene is a loop scene. This is not the correct one. Like that. Okay, great. And now let's create the first scene. So in the scene number 2, we will create it by the dragging the link from the first response, like this. I'm going to copy the text from the script right now. So let's paste it. And again, I will copy the response, add a reply. Okay, great. Yes, so this scene color is green and our client is happy. That's great. So let's close it. So we will make our client happy because this is the correct route in our dialog. Okay, let's close it. Okay, and now let's create scene number 5 in the same way. Next, I'm just drag the link and copy the text. Okay. Just a second, it takes some time. Okay, let's go back. And now let's copy our responses. Okay, the second one. We click add reply and paste our text. Then again, we go back, copy the text and add reply and paste our text here. So the first answer, this is an incorrect answer. This is completely incorrect answer. The next one, this is the correct answer. And the third one is a partially correct answer. So here we will have a loop scene and here we will create a dead end scene. So since we're still creating the correct route, I will choose happy emotion. Yeah, it's already chosen. So now we are ready to create a dead end for the first incorrect option. Now I just drag the link from the first response, go back to my script and copy the text. And as we can see, we have a speech bubble here. So we add a message in this scene. Okay, great. And now, since this is a dead end scene, I want to change the emotion meter to puzzled. And also to identify this scene, I will change the scene color to the red. Okay, let's go back. Let's close it. Oops. Next, for the correct answer in scene number 5, we will create scene number 7 by dragging the link again. This will be the final scene with a feedback message to let users know that they did everything right. Okay, just copy the text and paste our text here. Okay, our route is green because this is the correct route in our dialog. Okay, great. We're almost done. And now for the last answer in scene number 5, which is partially correct, I'm going to create a loop scene so our users can back one scene in case they chose an incorrect answer. So let's drag the link to the left, I think. Let's quickly copy and paste our text. Okay. Paste it. And the last one. Okay, we add a message here. And let's change the colors into the orange one because this is a partially correct answer here. Just to identify it easily. This is for us. Users will not see these colors. Okay, great. I think it looks like we are done creating the simulation at the moment. And at the moment, I also want to tell you about more useful features in iSpring TalkMaster. To make our dialogue simulation even more engaging, we can add a voice to it. To do that, we need to click where it says voiceover here on the top. Here you can see a script with all messages, replies, and characters speech on the left pane. As you can see on this pane, we have several ways to record and import voiceovers. If you want to add voice to your dialogue, you can send the exported script to a professional voice artist. So to create your script, just click on export here and your script will be exported to a Word document. Just the same Word document that we shared with you today to create this dialogue simulation. So also, this is really helpful if you have a professional artist. You can just send the script and they will send you back the ready made audio files. Also, if you want, you can do voiceovers yourself by clicking on this red button. You will see this button next to each scene. And also, you can insert your own audios by clicking on this folder icon and import any audio file that you have. You can even, record your voice in the third-party app or write in iSpring TalkMaster by clicking on record button. It's super easy here. But also we have another great feature here to create a recording, and this is text-to-speech feature in iSpring Suite. Let's do this together. Now I'm going to close it for a minute. So I hope you are ready to try it and to give it a try. So now, please guys, if you want to take a look at text-to-speech feature with me, click on iSpring Suite 10 shortcut on the desktop again, like this. Then click on screencasts and create new project. Okay, so we are in iSpring Cam Pro right now. This is a part of iSpring Suite Max. And to create a text-to-speech, to use a text-to-speech feature, I'm going to click on audio. And here I'm going to click on text-to-speech, like this. So we have many voices here. You can select any voice you want, any voice you like. And yeah, we have many languages here. You can preview each voice if you want. Now let's just copy, for example, where is it? Just a moment. Let's copy the first message from our dialogue simulation and paste it here. and click insert. And that's it. Our audio is ready. I can preview it, but due to the limitation of our translation today, you will not hear it, unfortunately. But if you follow the steps with me right now, I'm sure that you can hear it. So, yeah, Chris, what's going on in the chat? Do our participants trying this feature at the moment? Do they follow the steps?
I've seen that we have. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've interrupted you. Didn't mean to do that. Wanted to say, first of all, that I got really engaged as well. Even though I don't have this tool installed, I was following and noticed how engaging this was. And I also noted that we had several questions from dear participants to technical support team, and they were answering very promptly. So yes, we did have a number of clarifications. So I'm sure a lot of people were engaged. Do you want us to ask any questions to the audience about their results, what they've learned, or any other thing that I can help you with?
Oh, I have so many to talk about, and I think that we will cover the questions in the Q&A session. I just wanted to make sure that they are following the steps, and yes,
I guess they are. I guess they are. At least we don't have any grumpy comments saying, "Oh, that's too fast. Please go ahead and repeat that again," or something like this. Anyway, I just wanted to remind you that we have about 21 minutes till the end of the session, which means that we need to leave time for questions and answers. So let's try to make sure we have at least a little time for this very interactive part as well.
Yes, just a couple of features that I want to share with you guys, and yeah, we are ready to. Then we will be ready to Q&A session. So I'm ready to move on. Thank you, Chris. So guys, when you create a text-to-speech feature here, you can save it on your computer by clicking on save on your computer. I will not do that because I already did that before our session. And I just simply go back to my dialogue simulation and find my first scene here. Okay, here it is. And then go to VoiceOver and click on this folder icon, find this text, find this audio, click open, and that's it. So we have an audio on our first scene, on our intro scene. Great, so now our characters can speak. I'm sorry that you are not able to hear it here during this translation. Yeah, so let's take a look at another great functionality that iSpring Talkmaster offers. You can easily test your learner's knowledge by adding scoring to your dialogue simulation. And right now, I'm going to do this with you. So to add the scoring to your dialogue, you will need to go to Properties, select Enable Simulation Evaluation option. So, and then click OK. And now I'm going to go back to my scenes and add 5 points to each correct answer. It will be really quickly, just 1 more minute. I'm almost ready. Okay, which one was correct? This one. Okay, great. So, and here, yeah, here's just a message. Okay, so we added our points to our scenes. And now, after granting all the points for the key scenes, let's go back to the properties. And here you can see, if we go to the check final scores, we can see that the maximum score is 15 points. As a passing score, we will choose the minimum score that our learners can receive if they complete the dialogue in one of the routes. So I'll give them 15. Let's check again. Yes, 15 points. Okay. So great, our simulation is graded. And here's another trick I'd like to share with you. If you do not have an LMS, but you want to know the results of your users, you can send a report with the results to the email or to the server. My colleagues from tech support will share a link with you so that you can just click through the dialog simulation and see what report you will receive to your email. So now we can also customize the color scheme and style of our dialog. And to do so, let's click where it says player. So
welcome to your meeting with your first client. Her name is Jennifer. She wants...
Okay, just a moment. I will remove voiceover because, yeah. Okay, and now let's go back to the player. And a new window will pop up. And in the main tab, you can enable options to show the title of your dialog. And you can even enable a motion meter here. Sometimes, it's necessary to save the progress in the dialog. For example, you have a long dialog that contains 100 scenes or even more, and your user accidentally closed the window. So would you like them to start the simulation from the very beginning? Or would you like to allow them to continue the dialog from where they stopped in the last time? So you can choose what point they should start the dialog from in playback and navigation. Here it is. Okay, and to customize the color of the player elements to make it fit with the corporate colors, you can change the color scheme here. You can even set your custom color here. Okay, and now let's go back. And oh no, I'm sorry, not go back. Not go back. I also wanted to tell you about text labels here. So usually, if some buttons doesn't meet your requirements, you can change them here as well. So for example, if you want to change the start button, you can do that. Like for example, click here, and that's it. It's changed. So let's apply and close. And of course, the last step, the very last step is to publish your dialog simulation. To publish it, you just need to click on publish. And here you will have a few options. So first, if you want to publish it to your local disks, you can just select My Computer and then embed it to your website or anything, or you can just open it from your computer by clicking on index file. If you have iSpring Space, if you have iSpring Suite Max subscription, you can publish it to iSpring Space, which is a service for collaboration on courses, and share a link to your dialog simulation. Also, if you have our LMS, which is iSpring Learn, of course, you can do it directly from the publish window. And again, if you have an LMS, your own LMS, you can convert your dialog simulation to any format you want, SCORM 1.2, SCORM 2004, or any other format, and just hit publish. So I think I covered all the functionality I wanted to talk about today with you. And I think we did a great job today. And guys, we really value any feedback you have for us. So please share your thoughts in the chat. What do you think about dialog simulation? Will you use it in your work? So how was that?
Right. Thank you so much, Ina and Kate. I really, really liked your story, your overall experience that you have just shared with us. This was fantastic. And I noticed that you had so many fans who texted compliments during the whole process, saying this was amazing, awesome, we love it, great feature, I'm going to definitely use it, thank you. Fabulous. Thank you so much. You did a great job as well. Looks easy and intuitive. Thank you very, very much. Great. I think we can just learn a whole list of adjectives suitable to describe a positive emotion if we look at a chat right now, because there are so many different, characteristics that are being used to thank you, ladies. I think this was really, really very impressive. David says that he thinks that he needed it he needed to do it again, to try once more. I believe he wants to make sure he remembers all of the steps that you went through. And Abraham mentions that he already uses these functions. They're really great. And it was new to me about the default voiceover. So I think you can take this into account, ladies. This is a killer feature, really, really enjoyed by a lot of our participants. So I think we already have several questions. We have received them during your presentation, during your workshop. And I welcome everybody who wants to please share their emotions, their opinions, or questions to continue sending messages in the chat. I would like to just start with the one that we have already received. Ladies, can you please speak about the license in general, whether license is necessary?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for this question. The license is necessary, of course, because this is a year subscription. And if you'd like to use this, to use iSpring Suite and to create professional courses, you have to have a license, of course, because the trial works for just only for 2 weeks. And if we're talking about text-to-speech feature, it will work only on like year subscription. Yeah, it is.
Okay, sounds good. And we have Caesar's question. Can we see the flow chat of the simulation?
Kate, can you help me with that, please?
Flowchart of the simulation. Can you clarify this question?
Cesar asks if we can see the flow chart. I don't know, maybe you were going to share that on your screen, or the question is generally about the availability to see the flow chart.
Let me see, just a moment. I think I closed it, I'm sorry.
Oh, so, no, it's all right.
Okay, that's all right. And please don't worry, because after this session, we will send all the materials. We will send the dialogue simulation, so you can just open it on your end and see how it was created. So no worries, you will have everything, and you will repeat everything with me again. You will have a chance to do that.
Sounds great. This is not a question, but rather a comment. And I wanted you to maybe just, make a comment over this comment. I wonder if this is something that you want to, dwell upon and discuss in more details. Sean says that would be great tool for some of our entry-level positions who don't have much experience problem solving via chat systems.
Yeah, probably it is. Actually, this dialog simulations, also known as a role play, so they are both the same, and you can use this for onboarding for newbies as well, and for salesperson. So it works actually in every scene, but it depends what kind of trainings are you going to provide for your employees, let's say, and yeah, but. Speaking about like Marina's story, if you remember, you wanted to create like scenarios, some kind of, and this is one of the features which will help you to do that. So yeah, it will definitely work.
All right, sounds great. Well, while we are still waiting a little more to receive the other questions via chat, I would like to ask you question on my side, if that's okay. Again, dear participants, welcome. Please share your questions while Ina and Kate are still here, and you have this unique opportunity to please share their thoughts with us. I think it would be fantastic to use this opportunity. So maybe there is anything like, I don't know, a space of course creators or a community for those who are interested in developing their knowledge, their skills. Maybe there is some space where people can exchange best practices, demonstrate what they can already. I think it's just kind of logical to shape this kind of community or shape this kind of space for the people.
Yeah, sure. Actually, this is a great question because iSpring Suite includes iSpring Space. This is a cloud-based where you can share your not only store, but share your courses with your colleagues, let's say, with your community, and your community members can leave comments there. So it's pretty easy, and it's very helpful as well. And recently we've got such a feature. You can set up a password for the links. So let's say you would like to share your courses, and you don't want other users to use this link for everybody. So you can just set up the password. So this is actually very cool as well.
Thank you. I mean, there are so many experienced people in the chat as well. It feels like they've already been quite a long time in this industry, and they are very experienced. So I was wondering if there is any space or opportunity for them to also demonstrate their skills, show how professional they've become. It feels only natural to kind of desire to share what you have achieved already.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Grace, for this one. It's actually, I was wondering and was looking for this moment, because I'm going to tell you about the coolest championship of the year with iSpring. The iSpring Championship is a contest to select the best online courses with iSpring Suite Max. So my colleague is about to share the link to the iSpring Championship in the chat, so you can learn more about the steps to claim your prize. And while you are here, please, guys, don't miss your chance to register now to win the grand prize over 2-year iSpring Suite subscription. So this is just, amazing. And so to take a part in this championship, the registration for iSpring Suite Community Forum is required for both for course creators and for those who are willing to vote. And guys, get ready for showing off your fantastic skills to create the best e-learning course with iSpring authoring tool. So after you create this course, you need to upload it on the website. And after that, forum members and judges of iSpring Championship will be voting for the best work and selecting a winner. And the countdown begins today. So guys, don't miss out to submit your work till July 31st. And be sure just to follow the link on the chat for more details. And I wish you all good luck. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach us at community@ispring.com. We're about to share this email in the chat too.
Right. So email is the best way to connect with you, ladies, right?
Yeah, probably, yes. And also you can see here the QR code for my LinkedIn. So let's say if you have additional questions or we didn't have time to answer your question, please feel free to reach out as well.
Right. I have a couple of more questions and one more comment here in the chat, but let's begin with questions and see how much time we have. John, I'm so sorry, not John, but David, who was very active during all of our sessions, and it feels like he's our most devoted supporter, together with John and Lena and Celine and many others. David is wondering, if he is new to this industry but eager to learn, what advice would you give to the real newbies? Like something super short, maybe, ladies.
This is actually a great question, but because I don't know anything about your field, it's not professional to give you any recommendations with that, because this is like super different and deep, probably question. Okay. But if you want to, let's say, if you want to launch e-learning project, we have tools for that. We have a lot of tutorials, we have a lot of materials, and we have 24/7 support for you, and you can also rely on us for sure. And we will be happy to successfully launch your e-learning project with you. So we are here for you.
Right. I see that the colleagues from technical support are also sharing some links. I wonder if they could also share the links related to these tutorials. That would be very helpful. I think we have some time for one more question. Thank you for answering. Question is, thank you. The tool is great, but now how can we transfer the correct answers from the heads to the mouths of our students?
I'm not sure if I follow this question. Is it about technical stuff or is it like philosophical question?
Right. I think it all is more technical from what I understand. The heads to the mouths means speech of our students. But maybe, Lyubov, you could clarify this question just to make sure that we follow it. To be frank with you, I'm not 100% sure that I also follow the question correctly, so as not to speculate about that. Let's wait for Lyubov to clarify it. And so far, I'll just give you a comment that we have received from Lena. She wanted to share her thoughts. She says, I've used a variety of content creation tools, and Suite is the most adaptable and simple to use. So I do hope more features will be added, which I believe leads us to the point about the new features to be released soon, right, Ina?
Yeah, sure. Yes, we have unlimited updates with our year subscription as well. Unlimited upgrades and updates. So guys, definitely we are here for you. If you have any ideas, what would you like to see in our tool, please share them and we will provide them as soon as we can.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ina. Very last moment before we proceed to the next speaker and say thank you for all your efforts. Lyubov has made a comment, some additional tools to make them speak, not only know. I think it was more philosophical than technical. So it feels like she's interested if there is any opportunity not only to make sure they understand the material and have it in their heads, but also are able to reproduce it and converse orally with the characters in the dialogue.
Okay, now I got it. So probably if you'd like them to, let's say, improve their pronunciation, in this case, text-to-speech will work for you well. If you're talking about very shy students, let's say, and you'd love them to speak, so this is about probably your professional background, and I'm sure you have a great one. So our tool will help you for sure, and but we more from like technical side and more with engaging side, let's say, because from my perspective, if you can motivate your students to learn, and with our tools you can do that, they will have this motive and they will be learning for sure. So they will be running to your lessons and yeah, let's say like this.
Yeah, I'm sure this is exactly the topic for the next session, isn't that, Ina? I believe. How about combining the two things, this pedagogical excellence of motivating students to actually speak up and practice orally by building up upon what was learned during the e-course, during the online course, huh?
It sounds awesome. I think we have a plan for the next session.
Right, good. I would love to host that session. Take me on board. Okay,
sure.
Ina Kate, thank you so much for all this amazing experience you have shared with us. Again, now I'm starting to receive so many thank you messages in the chat. I'm sure once you relieve and exhale and, you know, take off the jacket and relax, you'll be able to take your phones and follow this chat in the YouTube. So thank you so very much, ladies. I was very, very pleased to have you in the studio today. It's a pleasure to be working with you. So let's wish all of our participants the best luck in trying the product that you've just demonstrated.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, guys. We will be happy to hear from you anytime. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Yay.